Hello, YouTubers, and welcome once again to Going Topicless, the podcast with few rules and many opinions. Hello, how's everyone doing this morning, this evening, this afternoon, whatever it is? It is December 10th at the time this goes up. If you're watching this later in the month, it is probably somewhere around Christmas, so Merry Christmas to you. Hope you got what you wanted. Yeah, this will be the last podcast episode for 2018. Wow, what a year! What a terrible year. It wasn't bad. I think we accomplished many great things this year. Like that one guy got a movie. Probably. I don't know. I haven't been paying attention, honestly. What even happened this year? What did we do? We landed on Mars, I think. I think that happened at some point. I have no clue. I clearly wasn't paying attention, or nothing fun happened. One or the other. Anyway. On the last episode, we had a couple guests, and we talked about movies for the most part. Lots about movies. Speaking of which, Stanley, God rest his soul, passed away. I don't think it wasn't long after we actually had that podcast episode. I think we were taking the piss out of Marvel, and then he passed away, so there's a slight chance that we killed him. Nobody arrest me, please. Yeah, so I mean, wow, what an accomplishment for that man. Pretty sure he just completed life. He reached the final level, finished it, beat the boss level, and that was it. Shut down the game of life, moving on to better things. All the rest of us continue to suffer. Speaking of which, seen the Captain Marvel trailer. Whew! Damn, I cannot wait for that one. Or that in the Avengers 4. Ah, man. I know in the last episode we kind of talked a bit about not so great things about Marvel, how it was couldn't really decide between being like serious dramatic action and like comedy. It's kind of like a mix of both. But I gotta give it to Marvel. Like they holy shit. They can put together a hell of a movie that action filled and crazy and madness. It's just like we mentioned. Kind of, I don't know. Some jokes just seem to like be out of place or forced or something like that. There's nothing wrong with jokes. Just gotta fit them in properly. But yeah, cannot wait for those two movies and some other ones. You know what? Fuck it. Since we're on the topic, let's bring up the movies for 2019 and just see what we got here. 2019 movies and things. What do we got? All right. Starting from January, we'll go through the end, see what we got here. A Dog's Way Home. Probably has something to do with dogs. What is this? Upcoming American family drama film, directed by Charles Martin Smith. Written by Bruce Cameron and Catherine Michon. M-I-C-H-O-N. I have no idea. Based on the book by Cameron. Oh, that's a book. A dog embarks on a 400-mile journey home after she is separated from her owner, Lucas, who is an aspiring medical student. That might be one to look out for if you like dogs. What else we got here? The Lego Movie 2! Heck yeah! I saw the trailer for that one. That'll be fun to see. Really enjoyed the first one. That is some fantastic animation. Like, I've seen some of those older style Lego animated movies and TV shows, and they are trash. But these ones, they are just. It never fails to amaze me how like detailed and textured, and like it looks like real Lego. Like, name another game slash movie slash show slash anything that has managed to do that apart from actual Lego. Anyway, what do we got here? 5 years after the events of Taco Tuesday, the Duplo invaders have turned Bricksburg into a post-apocalyptic wasteland as a result of Finn's father allowing his younger sister to play with him in the basement. Ah, yes. This is why you don't let children play with Lego. I know it says 3+, but let's be honest. Lego is for grown-ups. Emmett is completely unaffected by this dramatic change. He pretends everything is still awesome. Everything is awesome. Unlike everyone else who have toughened and hardened, making them ready for more fighting. Suddenly, an intergalactic invader named General Sweet Mayhem. Sweet Mayhem. I like it. From the Sistar system in outer space comes to Earth. When she kidnaps Emmett's girlfriend Lucy and the rest of his friends, including Batman, Metalbeard, Princess Unikitty, Benny, and all the other master builders, under the orders of Queen whatever Wanabe. The queen of the system, Sistar system. I see what they did there. Sistar, what's his face's little sister, whatever. Emmett's master builder skills are put to the ultimate test. He must use them to travel to space and rescue his friends, defeat General Mayhem and Queen whatever Wanabe, and restore harmony to Bricksburg and the rest of the Lego universe, with help from a new friend, galaxy-defending archaeologist, captor, and raptor trainer Rex Dangervest, and Emmett's recently discovered sister, who must be taught how to be a master builder. Fancy that. So that'll be definitely one that I'll be looking forward to. What men want? Hello? Is this this alternate universe to what women want? I'll tell you what men want. Sex and sex. That's all men want. Very simple human beings. Give them sex and they'll give you anything in return. Easy. That's the end of the movie. That's it. What else? What else we got here? How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World. That's like the fourth movie in the How to Train Your Dragon series now. So that'll be one to watch. Captain Marvel coming out on March 8th. Can't wait for that one. And what's her name? Brie Larson, that's her name. She cute. Wonder Park, I remember seeing this trailer. It's what is it? It's animated, I know that much. Upcoming 2019 American Spanish computer animated adventure comedy film. A young imaginative girl named June, she was born before July, true story, spent her childhood days constructing an amusement park filled with fantastical rides and inhabited by talking animals called Wonderland with her mother and her friends. After growing up, she lost her sense of imagination and wonder until she finds the real Wonderland in the woods. She needs to team up with the animals to stop the destruction of Wonderland by chimpanzombies. What? Chimpanzombies? Yeah, okay. And bring it back to life. So that's one that'll be an interesting little one. Then we got Dumbo. If you've seen the old-fashioned animated one, they're now making a live-action version of it, because apparently Disney's entire thing now is just remaking old movies. There's another one. They're doing The Lion King, that one as well. So those two will be ones to look out for. I'm curious to see how much they ruin it. What else we got here? Avengers Endgame, April 26th. That's the fourth Avengers movie. after the aftermath of Infinity War. Pokemon Detective Pikachu. Saw the trailer for that one. Oh boy, cannot wait. That looks like it's gonna be a really fun one to watch. Whether you're into Pokemon or not, I think that'll be a good one for you to look after. A Dog's Journey. Didn't we just see that one? May 17th. What else? I could have sworn we saw that already. Oh, A Dog's Way Home. Well, what's the difference? Confusion? Where did I just see it? Oh, now I've lost it. A Dog's Journey. Okay. I guess it's a sequel if I'm reading that right. Anyway. The Secret Life of Pets 2. Because, I guess. Men in Black. Oh my god, not another one. Are you serious? Men in Black International. Spin-off of the Men in Black film series. I don't know. It was like... The thing is with Men in Black, okay, started off really well, and like any movie that turns into a franchise, it just hit the shitter. That's why, like, also with Secret Life of Pets 2, I'm like, it could be okay, but like, I don't know. Thing is, though, so many movies are just made with the intention of being one-offs, and then they make billions of trillions of dollars, and they're like, fuck it, let's cash in on this and make another movie. And then it turns out to be terrible because they weren't really planning to continue the storyline, and there are so many plot holes and just... Ugh. It's terrible. I don't like sequels. Prequels sometimes work out fine, but still, same issue. Toy Story 4, again, prequels and sequels and all that crap. Just not really my thing. Ford versus Ferrari. This is an actual movie title. An upcoming action biographical drama film. Okay. The film follows an eccentric, determined team of American engineers and designers led by automotive visionary Carroll Shelby and his British driver Ken Miles, who are dispatched by Henry Ford and Lee Iacocca. I'm probably saying that terribly wrong. With the mission of building from scratch an entirely new automobile with the potential to finally defeat the perennial... That's a word that I do not know. Defeat the something dominant Ferrari at the 1966 24 Hours of Le Mans race in France. I mean, I guess. Jeez, it's like they'll turn anything into movies these days. So yeah, if you like cars, that might be something for you. Lion King, I mentioned that one already. What else we got? Dora the Explorer. Oh my god. Just below that there's the Angry Birds movie too. But I'm curious to see, because, you know, we all grew up with Dora the Explorer, I'm sure. When was this one set for? August 2nd. Dora the Explorer. The movie. Upcoming American family film, directed by James Bobbin. Having spent most of her life exploring the jungle with her parents, nothing could prepare Dora for the most dangerous adventure ever. Ooh. High school. Oh, God. Always the explorer, Dora quickly finds herself leading Boots, her best friend, a monkey, in case you didn't realize that, Diego, who, if I recall correctly, is her cousin, and a ragtag group of teens on an adventure to save her parents and solve the impossible mystery behind a lost Inca civilization. Ooh. I'm not watching that. Well, maybe, if I get absolutely bored. Artemis Fowl, August 9th. This one, am I ever excited for. There's so many movies I'm excited for. Man, 2019 is going to be a great year. I mean, that's what we said about 2018, and look what happened, but Movie-wise, 2019 is going to be a good year. Artemis Fowl, I grew up reading these books, and I absolutely loved them. So I'm excited to see how they do the movie, which I believe it spans across 2 books. It's either the first book or the first 2 books. Let's see here. In order to rescue his criminal father and restore the family fortune, Artemis Fowl II and his trusted servant and bodyguard Butler seek the existence of fairies in hopes of robbing them. Rescue his father and restore the family. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure it spans across the first 2 books. Because the first book, he steals a shitload of gold from the fairies, and then in the second one, he's in the search for finding his father, if I recall correctly. So yes, that I am absolutely excited for. The usual concern with going from book to movie is that it's very hard to capture the same magic that a novel offers in a movie. One, because there's a lot of narration that you get in a novel, and description and like stuff like that. It's longer, whereas in a movie you can't really, unless you have a person narrating, which is just lame, you can't really capture that narration level. And it's also because movies are usually limited to a certain amount of runtime, either because of budget or some other reason. They just don't. You have to cut so many good scenes in order to make the movie, which is really disappointing. So we'll see how that one goes. I'm hoping it's good. I'm praying that it's good. What else we got here? Lots of movies. Terminator 6, another one. Jesus. Again, sequels. Oh my god. Kingsman: The Great Game, like another sequel to Kingsman: The Secret Service and Kingsman, whatever the other one was called that wasn't as good. Let's see, what do you have here? What do you offer? I have no idea. Can't be bothered. That's a lot of text to read. I'm not going to read that. Frozen 2. Oh, jeez. So much. So many sequels. Never mind. This year's going to be terrible. Sonic the Hedgehog. Hello. Upcoming live-action animated film. Ooh. Based on the video game franchise? Oh, no. I see video game to movie and I'm like, it's not going to be worth it. You know, like the other one that was called, what is it? Assassin's Creed. There we go. I was so disappointed by it, I forgot the title. So yeah, if you want a good example, Assassin's Creed. Anyway. Small-town sheriff Tom Wachowski journeys to San Francisco to assist Sonic, a super-fast anthropomorphic blue hedgehog, in his battle against the evil Dr. Evil Robotnik. We'll see how that one goes. Star Wars Episode 17 million. Cats. A cat movie over cats. So many cats. Over a single night, a tribe of cats called the Jellicles make what is known as the Jellicle. I have no clue. We're just go with J. The J choice, and decide which cat will ascend to the heave side layer and come back to a new life. Musical, fantasy, comedy, drama. If they didn't have musical, I might watch it. But it's a musical, so fuck that noise. God, I hate musicals. Musicals, there's an issue with musicals, in that the songs feel so forced into the movie and so out of place. And like, every time they jump into a sing and song and dance number, The movie just grinds to a halt. Nothing happens. The plot stops and they just sing and dance for 3 or 4 minutes and then they continue on their way. Musicals are, in my opinion, the worst genre of movie. They're just some very few of them do it right and are actually enjoyable. It's I cannot stand musicals. They're disgusting. Anyway, those are just some of the ones that stand out for me for 2019 in movies. Have a look yourself. Might be something you're interested in. There's a lot that I did not mention, so anyway, that's that. What were we doing? I have no idea. Hello, hi. How's it going? Hope you enjoyed that 20-minute segment called Movies Talk. I have no idea. Seeing as it is December, class is almost over. Would you look at that? That's time flew by, didn't it? We started off with counting down the clock from 15 weeks. In fact, I think the first podcast went out before my first week was even started. Hang on, I can check this because it goes up on the 10th every month. So wasn't on September. No, we did so in September. What am I doing? Oh yeah, so the podcast went out after I was done the first week. So yeah, that was the thing. So that was first week. There were 14 weeks left to go, and now here we are, episode 4, and it's done. It's almost done. I've got one class on Monday, which is the day this goes live. That's one full class, and then a practical final exam on Tuesday. It's about 45 minutes, and then it's done. We've got our grad lunch on Thursday. Friday, nothing. Saturday, I pack up and go home. It's been a very enjoyable journey. You learned a lot, made new friends. It was memorable, definitely, absolutely. Yeah, that's the thing. And then after that, we see what happens. We get hopefully hired by CP or CN, and we start bringing in all that money, you know. Anyway, yes. Where has the time gone? It just flies by. Crazy. What else? What else is there? I don't know. That's pretty much it. I do have a bunch of questions. I opened up the board to friends and family who wanted to ask me stuff, and any other random people on the internet if they wanted to. So I've got a list of questions. I've got no idea who sent which ones, but we'll just read through them and see where we go. I'm going to the questions first because I know some of them relate to what I was just talking about, school and stuff. So I'll answer the question in that way instead of just talking for an hour and then going to these questions and be like, oh yeah, I answered that question already. Whoops. So yeah, let's do this. First one. What does the air taste like? As you can see, we're off to a flying start. Here's a scientific fact for you. We do not taste nor smell pure air because there is no survival benefit to us in being able to do so. The reason we taste and smell things is so our brain can decipher whether or not it will be hazardous towards us. After a while, if your brain decides that, oh, this isn't going to harm me at all, then you stop smelling it or you stop tasting it. That's why, someone rips a fart in the room. After a while, you can't smell it anymore. It's because your brain's like, well, this isn't harmful. Forget about that. Let's try and smell other things, So I think humans have just evolved to no longer smell or taste air because it's... Why? Why do you need to smell or taste air? There's no survival benefit to it. So there's the answer for that question, kind of, not really. What does the air taste like? Nothing, because you don't need to be able to taste it or smell it or anything. What do things look like for your first few months out of school? This is the question is a question about stuff. What am I even saying? Hello? I'm high or something. Marijuana is legal, so it's entirely possible. I'm kidding, I'm not high. Someone please hire me, please. I beg of you. I need a job. Anyway, first few months out of school, the way things currently look, most likely, because unfortunately, sad face, I was turned down by CP. Don't know why, kinda, but whatever. So instead, CN is looking a lot more likely. I've already done my criminal background check, I've done my medical, everything looks top notch, nothing's come back red yet. So if we go with CN, then I believe late January I moved to Winnipeg, which is where they do their training. So that'll be 7 weeks, I believe. Yeah, I believe Winnipeg for 7 weeks in winter. That'll be fun. So Winnipeg for 7 weeks, starting late January, I believe. And then after that, I'm currently set to be stationed out of Kamloops. I haven't been told otherwise, so after training's complete in Winnipeg, then I'll probably move straight to Kamloops. If not, I'll move back home, pack things up, and then move to Kamloops. And then things will go from there. Ideally, I'll have like an actual house that we actually own to ourselves. That would be great. I absolutely hate renting. It's just you have no sort of freedom to do what you want because someone else owns the house and you're just living there. So you can't really, you can be kicked out at any time. You can't really modify the house as much as you might want to. At least with owning a house, you can actually do what you want. Add extensions, take off pieces, blow it up, whatever. It's your house, so you do what you want. More likely, actually, because I've put a lot of thought into this. Probably, I reckon, what would be the smart thing to do would be to rent like a cheap little home for the first while, save up as much as I can, because I'll be making a ton of dough. You know what I'm saying? So save up, and then find a nice, decent property. Decent house in good condition and just straight up buy it. No mortgage, no down payments or whatever you do with houses. Just straight up outright buy the property, and then that way I'm not being crippled by having to make fucking $5,000 payments every month. I can just live happy. I'm not gonna be financially crippled for the rest of my life. I can actually, save up. Because in the long run, straight up buying a house, same with like a car, straight up buying a car and just all you have to do is pay insurance. When it comes to stuff like that, in the long run, it's so much better. Because now you're not paying off somebody somewhere for the next 50 years. Those 50 years, you've got no one to pay. You're just making money. And then you can buy even more stuff. So, that's the way I look at that. So yeah, move to Kamloops, probably rent for a year or two, and then straight up buy a property, and then that's how that looks. I know the question said a few months, but you know what? Going for a few years. Of course, none of this is set in stone. Things can always change. Lots of opportunities have arisen over the past, and I'm sure they will continue to come up. So yeah, that is that. How do you feel about the LGBTQWBB blah 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 plus? I feel like half of those are made up community. Hang on, I want to Google this. Is that the actual thing? LGBTQ full acronym, full abbreviation. LGBTQQA IAAP QIAAP. Lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, transsexual, queer, questioning, intersex, asexual, ally, what is ally? Ally? Ally. I have no clue. Straight ally, or heterosexual ally is a heterosexual person who supports equal civil rights, gender equality. Oh, yeah, correct. I was saying it right. Is ally. Okay. Cool. So even people who do not fall under any of the LGBTQ blah 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 thing are still under the LGBTQ as long as you support LGBTQ. It's too confusing. There's my first thought on this question. It's too confusing. Who's who? What's what? How are you with this person? With what? How? Why? In, out, upside down. It's just okay. Before I piss off everybody, let me set some ground rules here. Because this is a touchy subject, and just about anyone and anyone besides anyone will get mad at you for just expressing your thoughts on this. I think that if you feel like you want to be someone else, so if you're a dude and you want to be a girl, then by all means go ahead and do that. It does not affect me, it does not affect anyone else. You do you. Alright? Should I end it there and just be done with it? But yeah, that's sort of like, that's pretty much the basis of what I think of it. But it is more complex. The thing is, I have so many questions, and like you try to ask anyone questions and they lose their shit. There's my one complaint about anyone, is that you try to ask someone who's LGBTQ plus 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 about anything, and some of them are really chill. There's one fellow who's in my class actually is transitioning, and he's pretty chill. Like you could say anything, and I'm trying to think. She went from he to she, so she's super chill with it. Am I doing this right? I don't know. But like, just on that alone, I'm like, well, are you this? Are you that? Like, what constitutes as which and what? And are you bay, gay, sci-fi, up, down, helicopter? I have no clue. Anyway, okay. I think what bothers me the most. Here we go. I think what bothers me the most is that like we can't come to like a solid conclusion on who's what, where, why, how. And I think that's why there's so many like, it's so right versus left and crap like that, of like I'm generalizing, but most right-wing folk will be like, well, if you have a penis, you're a guy, and if you have a vagina, you're a girl, and there's no in between. And like, and then you go to majority of the lefts are like, well, it's a spectrum. You can be like far left, far right, or like anywhere in between, you know? And I think like our inability as a human race to agree on anything, I think is why the world is so broken. Okay. I have a solution for everybody. And if we can all agree to this solution, then there will no longer be any problems ever. Alright? So, your sex. You're defined as male or female based on your biological components of your body. If you have the male bits, you're a male. If you have the female bits, you're a female. That is your sex. That is on the medical forms you fill out when it says sex. You put in male or female. There you go. Problem solved. Gender, that's where we get into the LGBTQ blah 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 thing. Gender, unlike sex, see what I'm doing here? I'm separating them. I think that's where the issue comes from. So many people think sex and gender are the same thing. I disagree. I don't think it... I'll Google it right now. Definition of sex. Define sex. Determining the sex of. Blah, 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 blah. Male and female. Alright. We got that. Let's go to gender. The state of being. Cultural differences rather than biological ones. See? Social stuff like that. It's not... Gender is less biological and more of a state of mind, if you will. More, that's where you get into like, oh, I know I'm male, but I feel like a female. Or I know I'm male, but I'm attracted to other males, you know? That's where I think... That's where everything, the spectrum, as everyone calls it, that's where that sits under, is gender. Sex is your physical bits that you were born with, which, of course, given modern medicines and stuff like that, you can change. If you hack off your nuts and invert your penis. That's probably not how it works, but... I mean, whatever you do to change that, then you would, I guess you could say that your sex has changed from male to female, so you are now a female. And, you know, gender, state of mind. If we can all agree that that is that, then I think we can move on from this dumb argument and just let everyone be who they want to be. Sound fair? Alright, moving on. What was your favorite moment? My favorite moment? That one moment on September 16th, 1842. It's my favorite moment right there. What was your best day in Alberta? I particularly enjoyed going on our field trip. Our class went on a field trip to a place called Lyalta. And out there we were able to actually play on a physical locomotive. We had a couple rail cars, so we practiced getting on and off, coupling, doing up air hoses, stuff like that. That I particularly enjoyed. That was really fun. You don't get that in other places. You don't get to, like... Not many schools will give you the opportunity to physically work on the stuff that you're being taught to work with before you're even out of school. You know, you get what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying, dog. Like when you think school, you sort of think sitting at a desk, writing words for 8 hours, and then solving math problems. It's not very often, at least as far as I'm aware, not very often schools actually take you out and be like, alright, remember everything we did in class? Now try to apply it to reality. Here you go. So I really enjoy that we get the opportunity to work practically outside and stuff on actual equipment that we're going to be working on anyway. And I mean, it makes sense. Why wouldn't you? Why would you spend so much time in a class writing paper when your actual job has very little to do with paper? Or maybe it has a lot to do with paper, I don't know. But there's still the practical side, which I think everyone should be trained on before you're sent out into the real world. But yeah, I really enjoyed that. That was probably among my favorite moments. There's so many good stuff that we did, but that one really stands out as something that I'll remember. It was really fun. When we were done for the day, I was like, damn, I could do this like all day. And you know, I think about it. I think it's hilariously ironic because when I was a kid, I know in the last podcast I talked about how my brother's always taking me out and sort of showing me the way, if you know. He's always taking me out doing stuff that I probably wouldn't do on my own because I'm lazy. And one of the things that we would often do is we'd head down to the tracks and hang out for a bit. And he was a particular fan of putting coins and stuff on the tracks. Because, who hasn't done that? If you live by a railway and you haven't flattened a coin by the train, then you're not living. But yeah, as a kid, that's what we'd always do. And I distinctly remember being absolutely terrified every time the train went by. I don't know why. Maybe it's because it was loud. I was like, oh, maybe it might derail. Oh, maybe my brother's going to get hit by the train because he's fucking putting coins on the tracks. But I was always terrified and hysterical and in tears. And I would go crying back to my mother. And now, here I am, some 10, 15 years later, and I could not think of anything else I would rather be doing than playing on the trains that I was terrified of 10 years ago. I mean, how ironic is that, But I guess, isn't there a saying along the lines where, like, you love the thing you hate the most or something like that? Or, like, the thing you're terrified of is the thing I don't know, what am I even saying? Basically, I'm Batman. I'm terrified of bats, and now I've become a bat. Alright? Alright. What was the most valuable lesson you learned while in Alberta? Don't trust the times that the city transit gives you, because everything is always late, or early, or both. So, yeah, if you're planning to take transit anywhere, show up early and expect to arrive late. That's what I learned. That's the most valuable lesson. When did you realize you were going to succeed? 7 years ago. What was the scariest moment in Alberta? I don't know. It's all been relatively enjoyable. Although there was on I think one of the earlier days going to school, I got off the bus and I've seemed to have developed a habit of checking my pockets every 5 minutes to make sure I haven't dropped my wallet or my phone. And like, this isn't really, probably not the type of answer you're looking for, but it was scary for me, and it was goofy. So I get off the bus and I'm checking my pockets, the usual pockets that I almost always put my phone and wallet into, and I feel it and it's flat. I feel nothing there, and I'm like, oh my god, I've dropped my wallet on the bus. Just before the bus leaves, I hail the bus driver, get on, like, I think I dropped my wallet, oh god. I look around my seat, there's nothing there. I look around, see if someone picked it up, nothing. I check again, this time I do like a full pat down, and I put my wallet in another pocket. I'm so used to putting it in one pocket that when I put it in the other, I completely forget. So that was a bit of a scare there for no reason, but at least I didn't lose it. How do you enjoy the city? I quite enjoy it, apart from all the stuff that kind of sucks, like, Sate. I don't know, I've been thoroughly disappointed by Sate, but the rest of the city's okay. The people are nice. The homeless people are homeless. Yeah, you know what? Speaking of Sate, all right. Here's what I'm hot and bothered by. Everything. So, I don't know if I might have mentioned this in the last episode. How there was one book that's some $200 that we needed for a course. So, and like it didn't come in until pretty much when the course was finished. So there was no point in buying a $200 book if you're only going to use it for a day. We were also promised hoodies at like the start of October, and they never came in until just now. And I've got one. It's $50, and I honestly don't think I would have paid $50 for it, but I did. But I regret it. $30, okay, but I don't know. It looks nice, kind of warm, but it's not very well insulated. So if you go out into the cold, you're probably gonna freeze. There's also another thing. I think like our entire class all ordered sweaters. There's 20 of us in class. So we ordered, give or take, 20 sweaters. And yet, on the shelf there were 6 sweaters, 8 sweaters, hoodies, whatever. So like, what happened to the other hoodies? Hello? What do you mean? I'm confused. Where'd they go? And like, I ordered a medium, but when I got there were no mediums left. So and a small was like small, so I'm stuck with a large now, which is a little bit awkward because the way they did the lettering on it, on the front it says SATE, and then underneath it says rail because I'm in the railway program. Like the way they put the letters on, it's like a flat God, it's been so long since I took sewing class. They basically what am I even trying to say here? Someone help me. Someone come to my house and tell me what I'm trying to say, please. But it's like there's like a base that the letters were stenciled onto, and like the letters are on the outside and this base is on the inside. But the base is like so thick that like it's almost like a piece of cardboard. And so, because this hoodie's bigger than I requested, and it's bigger than me by a fair bit, this cardboard base makes the letters sort of sit, and it looks like I've got very perky nipples with this, because like the corners of the corners of the S and the T stick out way more than like my actual physical body does, and it looks weird, like I've got square boobs, Minecraft boobs or something. It's dumb. Sweaters are not worth $50. Hoodies, whatever, same thing. Anyway, what was the question? Oh yeah, do you enjoy the city? Yes, I enjoy the city, just not SATE. Especially not residence. Oh my god. So I received an email, and the email was saying you have outstanding fees. You need to pay your fees for residence. And I'm like, what? Hello? Goodbye. What? I was confused because like I paid my residence fees, and there's nothing left to pay for. I don't know why it wanted me to pay stuff. Turns out, somewhere along the line, there was confusion, and they thought I was here for the second semester. So I had to pay another $4,000 for the second semester, because residence in total is like 8,500 something. But I only paid 4,000 because, well, I'm only here for one semester, not two. And they wanted me to pay for a second semester, but I'm not here for a second semester, and I told them that. I sent an email that said, "Hi, I'm Devin Pearson. This is my student number. If you look, keyword, if you look, you will find that I'm enrolled in a 1-semester program, and I will leave on December 15th, and I'm not paying you more money." And they're like, "Could you please provide us proof that you're not going to be here?" I'm like, what? I give you documentation on when I applied for residence that said I was in this program. I'm only here for 1 semester. Why are you telling me to pay for more? Like, what? So that was frustrating. And then I sent them back. I said, look, you guys have this documentation. It's with you. Look at it. And they were like, no. I'm simplifying this, but that's basically how it went down. So I just didn't pay them, and then because the fees were due on December 1st, so come December 1st, I hadn't paid anything, and they're like, hello, you have outstanding fees, and because they're late, you now owe us an extra $50. I'm like, all right, listen here, you fucks. I didn't actually say that. Basically, I just went to the registrar and said, give me proof so I can give it to these assholes so they can stop nagging me. And yeah, but even that took a while because the office of the registrar closes at 4 o'clock. My class, which is about a 40-minute drive away from campus, main campus, goes from 8 a.m., and I'm usually there at 7, so 8 a.m. to typically 3:30, 4:30, even as late as 5. And because of how late it runs and how long it takes to take transit, because remember what I said about transit, you never trust it, it takes me usually 45, 50 minutes to get from that campus to the main campus, and by that time, the registrar is closed. So it took a bit of strange planning and stuff to try and get there on time. I think I had 10 minutes to spare the day I finally managed to get in and say, I need proof of this, blah 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 stuff, nonsense, whatever. So yeah, please, SATE, if you're listening, tell your residents to stop being shit, and tell your registrar to stay open, like, even just another hour. Just stay open till 5, please. Anyway, so yeah, I've been thoroughly frustrated by residents in main campus and stuff. And, like, the other campus where we actually have class is, like, it's so, like, even just looking at it, you can tell that main campus is where they put all their money. Like, the toilets at the other campus are trash, they smell terrible, they look terrible, the vending machines are, like, rubbish. They don't give you back your money half the time, and it's always out of hot chocolate. They never have hot chocolate. And they don't take bills. Some of the vending machines on main campus will take bills, but the ones that were on the other campus, the side campus, if you will, didn't take bills. So it feels bad. And so if you don't have change, then you can't actually do that. You can't get money. You can't get food. You have money. No, you don't have money. What am I? God. It's early, he says at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But yeah, no, it's not worth it. And there's like a hockey table that's just broken. The legs wobble. It doesn't. The plug-in just it doesn't. It's got it. No, it doesn't work. All right, that's what I'm trying to say. Wow, this is a terrible podcast. I can't even speak properly. We're just gonna move on so I don't have to try and think. What are you most looking forward to? I'm most looking forward to making money and also driving trains. Actually, driving trains first. I most look forward to that, and second to that, I really look forward to not being poor, because I'll be making it like a proper wage, and I can actually afford things now. Where are you going to be in 5 years? Most likely Kamloops. Or I've also been thinking about this. If I stay in Kamloops for a while, and then after that, see about moving to Vancouver. Because there's a lot of film opportunity in Vancouver, and I quite like the idea of that, just sort of as on the side. Because I did take theater for 4 years in high school, and I really enjoy that. I really enjoy acting. I really enjoy making a scene come together. Even if it's just one scene, even if it's like a full 2 hour production, it's really fun, and it's really rewarding to see people watching it and enjoying themselves. So I'd love to, if the opportunity arises, to go do that. So maybe in 5 years I'll be in Vancouver. I don't know. Still working for the railway. That's number one. But I would like to do a bit of filming and acting on the side. If you were going to do this all over again, what would you do different? Not go to residence. Like I said, it's been absolutely, ugh. It's a tiny concrete box. My fan didn't work for like 3 months. There's one mechanic for this entire building. I like to point out that it's a 22-story building, and there's, give or take, 30 rooms on each floor. So one guy trying to fix everything in that building, it's going to take a while to do anything. So my fan did not get fixed for a very long time, and my TV did not get put up on the wall for a very long time. Even though I don't watch TV, it was still very irksome. But yeah, if I were to do this again, I would see about getting like a little apartment to rent out and not go to residence, because this place is trash. What kind of advice would you give to the next guy that you learned on your own? That is a good question. What advice would I give? Fight. Fight your hardest to get your goals. Because if you work hard, if you prove yourself, if you do what you want to do, and do what it takes to get to where you want to be, then you will get there. You know, I'm doing quite all right. Since day one, I was like, I'm gonna do this, and here I am, doing this. Be working on the railway hopefully in a few months. If like the first day the power went out because we didn't have any money, then, and I just sat in the corner and cried for the rest of my life, I wouldn't be here now, would I? So you gotta fight. As hard as it may seem, you gotta throw down. You gotta grab those opportunities by the balls, and work for it. Work hard, and you'll be rewarded. That's a good question. Why is the sky blue? Why would it not be? That's that question. That reminds me. We had a fellow come in from Caltrex, a sort of railway car maintenance company. And near the end of his presentation, he was like, "Does anyone have any questions? Anything at all?" And I perked up. I said, "Why is the sky blue?" And yeah, that just reminded me of that because I said the same question to some other guy. I think he said because foamers made it that way, which I don't think that's how it works. But if you don't know, a foamer is what the rest of the world calls those of us that like trains for some reason. I prefer rail fan, but hey, whatever. I think this is what I found out because there are rail fan websites that I look at, and I know you're rolling your eyes. Stop it. And in their rules, they say do not refer to anyone as a foamer. Some people find it offensive. And I was like, what? I mean, I know I get irritated by it sometimes, but like, what? Who would be offended by it? I mean, it kind of makes sense, because like the implication is that someone who likes trains foams at the mouth when they see a train. And it's like, yeah, okay, whatever. But like, to be offended by that? That just makes me think, like, the world is so damn sensitive these days. Like, holy shit. Okay, I think that we should just stop fearing words. Stop fearing language, okay? If there's any word that offends you, stop being offended by it. Because what is What are words? Words are just sounds that come out of our mouths, and they have no meaning at all until you give it meaning. If it means something offensive to you, then stop thinking of it like that. Think of it as something else. Think of it as meaning flowers or pink dress or something. It Words have no meaning until you give it to them. You should stop being offended by words. Stop being offended by language. As soon as you become offended by language, the terrorists win. Okay? That's what I'm trying to say here. Yes. No, stop being offended by things. I will call you a foamer. If you say something offends you, I will deliberately start saying that word just because it offends you. Because I'm that kind of person. Anyway. What does the color purple taste like? It tastes like orange. Oranges. Tastes like oranges. Do you prefer blondes or brunettes? I don't know. I quite fancy blondes. Blonde is just a nicer hair color on the ladies. Actually, just to refresh my mind. I'm gonna see. I wonder if I can do a comparison. Brunette versus blonde. Even side by side comparison. Ooh, okay. Way to show me like not very pretty people. No, I definitely prefer blonde. Brunette's just kind of like, I don't know. I mean, they're both nice, but like blonde is just a bit nicer. No offense, brunettes, but like blonde. What country do you think is the best? Canada. Who would win a battle between Indominus Rex and Optimus Prime? Who the fuck is Indominus Rex? Google. Can I spell? Indominus Rex. Okay, so it's a T-Rex. I'm gonna say Optimus Prime because a T-Rex is an animal, and animals bleed. Optimus Prime just gotta... Also, Optimus Prime has weapons. Like, all he has to do is just sort of chill up in the air, just shoot down on the T-Rex. That T-Rex will eventually bleed out or something. If it's a physical fight, then... I mean, I still gun for Optimus, because, like, what's Optimus gonna do? He'll just lose an arm or a leg or something, or break his mechanical pieces. A T-Rex can bleed. It's not a fair fight. What is your favorite food? The nearest food. What is your favorite movie? Baby Driver. Okay. I was mentioning, I know I said earlier how I absolutely hate musicals. There's the one exception. Because apparently Baby Driver is classified as a musical. Baby Driver, I'll Google it. I know one of its genres is musical. Does it say here? No clue. But like, it makes sense because the entire movie is just music. I mean, it's not just music. There's so much more than just music. But yeah, it is music, action, stuff like that. But I absolutely love it. I think it is the best. I just watched it last night actually, and I noticed something. That was like the 5th or 6th time I watched it, and the first time I noticed this, that whenever Baby takes an earbud out or someone else takes an earbud out, the music that's playing will play through your headphone. That's also like it's corresponding with the same earbud that's in Baby's ears at the time. So like, if someone takes out the left earbud, then the music that you're listening to will play through the right earbud, if you have earbuds in or headphones, or probably even speakers too. And I thought that was just absolute. That was so clever. Like it. Oh, it's such a good movie. If you haven't seen Baby Driver, you cannot. We cannot be friends. That is the best movie, and I will hands down defend it to hell and back. That is a musical that's done right because, one, everything in the movie is timed perfectly with the beat and the music and all that, and that is just beautiful. And also, when there's music playing, the movie doesn't completely stop just to let the music play. There's more to it than that. It's not it. It's Baby Driver's the best. I'll stop it at that. It's the best. It's the only musical that I love. Why do we have season changes? Well, when a season comes to an end, they have the big dramatic climax, and then the season arc ends, and then the new season starts with a new plot, and it goes on again, and it just does it over and over again until everyone gets sick of it, and then they finally have a season finale like Big Bang Theory, and they finally kill it. Thank God. Oh, you're talking about nature. Oh, I'm sorry. Because the planet Earth is on like a slight tilt. When it rotates around the sun, I'm doing hand motions, which you probably can't see. But planet Earth is on a slight tilt, and when it goes around the sun, what am I trying to say? I learned this in science. Why can't I remember? So when we rotate around the sun, because the planet is on a slight tilt, different parts of the planet Earth are directly in front of the sun at different times. So like right now it's winter. So that's because the portion of the Earth that Canada is on the tilt is sort of like a bit more north than where the sun is directly facing. Does any of this make sense to you, or am I just spewing nonsense? I'm probably spewing nonsense, aren't I? Wouldn't be the first time. You know what I'm trying to say. You know, the planet and the thing and the whatever. If you're a flat earther, then you hate me. Whatever. I give up. Seasons happen because of magic. I don't know. What is the most difficult part of your body to lick? Your forehead, unless you have a really long tongue, in which case you're weird. What are your thoughts on cannabis oil cures cancer? Well, first off, there's cannabis oil? I thought it was just like weed. Is there actual cannabis oil? Probably spelt it wrong. Cannabis, not cannabis. Oh, okay, that's a real thing. But does it cure cancer? I don't know. Let's find out. I mean, there's some people who claim that they've been cancer-free after they've gone over to medical marijuana or cannabis, so... I mean, I'm not seeing anything here that says no out of what I just looked up. Protects your immune system, significantly increases your chance of remission, stabilizes and eliminates acute or chronic pain, eliminates toxic pharmaceutical protocols, reduces or eliminates malignant cell growth, reduces or eliminates nausea, stimulates increased appetite. And this is why it's legal. I mean, what is wrong with it, you know? Good things comes from cannabis, so why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you have it legal? Canada, we did a good thing. America, get on our level. I think it's a good thing for that question. What was it? Your thoughts on it? I think it's good. I'm glad that we've legalized it. Hopefully it helps a lot of people. I'm sure it will help a lot of people. Um, that's all the questions that I've got for that. Now what? Now what do I do? Now what? Now what? I don't know. Yeah, that's a lot of questions that I went through. I don't know. What do you want to talk about? Shout it at the screen, and I'll hear you, and you'll be like, "What? How can you hear me?" And I'll be like, "It's magic." So just shout a topic at me. I'll pick one. Um, that one's good, but not quite. I don't know. I'm done. I don't know enough about that one. What was that? I don't even know what you're saying. You're speaking a different language. What about you there? My thoughts on Hitler? Well, let me tell you. I'm kidding. Yeah. Things are going well over here. It's almost over, and then I'll be moving home. And I should be receiving an email from CN probably near the end of this week, and we'll discuss Winnipeg. And then that's that for 7 weeks. Move elsewhere, see what happens. Yeah, it feels good to know that your goals, to see your goals are in reach, you know. It's really rewarding to know that you've worked hard and it wasn't for nothing, right? If I guess to wrap this up, I'll say it's a short podcast, whatever. To wrap this up, I'll say if you're out there, if you're struggling with whatever it is, you can beat it. You know, you can get out of whatever sticky situation you're in. You know what I'm saying? You feel me, my homeboy? It's like all you need. Okay, here we go. If you're in a shitty situation, you're poor, you're addicted to drugs, you're even homeless. Step 1, realize that the situation you're in is not a situation you want to be in for the rest of your life. You don't want to be poor for the rest of your life. You don't want to be homeless for the rest of your life. You don't want to be addicted to crack cocaine for the rest of your life. Whatever. Realize that, and then figure out what you're going to do to change that. With that, I recommend starting off with coming up with a goal. What is your goal? What is something that you can work towards? It could be a goal set in a couple of years from now, a goal several years from now. You can have more than one goal too. Say, let's do a good example. Good example, you're homeless. So your sort of distant future goal would be you want a house, maybe a wife and kids, car, stuff like that. All right. Now you need your goals within that to sort of work up to it. So first thing you would probably look for is a job. Can you get a basic job like at a McDonald's, cleaning kitchens or something? Maybe you've got some tools you can use to help other people. Maybe you've got a mower. I don't know. I don't know what homeless people keep with them these days. So you get yourself a job, something that you can use to make some money, get yourself some clothes, get yourself some food, and you can save up. It'll be hard, but you can save up just enough to rent yourself a very cheap apartment to stay in. You got an actual house now. See if you can get yourself cleaned up. See if you can work towards other jobs that pay more. You know, it's about working up. All right. I started not worse, not like, I know there's 100% people that have far worse lives than I have, but like I started off with rent, like we're still renting, but started off pretty low, couldn't get much. Most of our cars sucked because they were cheap. And now here I am, I've got scholarships, now I'm at school, almost done school. So that was like pretty much goal number one. Okay, so the distance future goal is to be able to make money, make enough money to support myself, have a nice house, stuff like that. So step one of that was finishing high school. We finished high school, that was good. Sort of like a sub goal to that was to earn some scholarships. Did that, sub goal completed. Move on to a post-secondary school, using those scholarships to pay for it. That was realized. We're now finished school, almost. Now, pretty much the topper on the tree, because it's almost Christmas, is finishing training with CN, get a job, and then just saving up so I can get a money. Wow. I swear I'm not high. Get a house. And then beyond that, we'll see where we go. I can make up more goals. Maybe I'll want to, like I said, go into acting, something like that. There's never an end. You can always go further. Reach for the moon. Once you've hit the moon, reach for the next planet, reach for the next galaxy, reach for the next universe. I don't know. What more do you want from me? I don't know. So yeah, it's it may seem difficult at first, but once you've got those goals set, now you've got something to work towards. Now you've got the key to anything: motivation. You've got a goal to work towards, and you've got an understanding that you don't want to be where you want now. You're now motivated. You're motivated to work towards something. You're motivated to get out of where you are now. That, I think, is the key to changing your life for the better. I think if you work with that, then you can accomplish anything. Just keep working towards it. Like I said, fight for it, Life beats you down, get up and kick it in the balls. Like I said, I think CP turned me down. That didn't stop me. I'm now slight deviation to my plans, but it's still working out well. And yeah, it's all fine and dandy. And in a few months, ideally, in an ideal situation, everything will be great. And you can do that too. You can finish school. You can clean up your drug habit if you have one. You can get yourself a house. You can get yourself a wife and kids, or a husband and kids, whichever. You can travel the world. You can do anything. You just gotta realize where you are now, set yourself a goal, be motivated to work towards it. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the last podcast for 2018. Thank you for listening. Hope you learned something. Hope you had fun as much as I did answering these questions. Some ridiculous, some not. Talking about movies. Lots of good movies coming out this year. And some motivational talk for you. So, if you're out there having a shitty life, you can make it better. Just gotta work for it, Thanks again, and I shall see you all next time. Merry Christmas. Have a good year. Have a good day, good afternoon, good whatever it is. I don't know. Stop talking, Devin, please. I will do that. Bye.